Hi, my name is Travis Lindsay, former professor and some other stuff for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State Fullerton. And today I'm lucky enough to have Asli in here to talk about her business. So Asli, can you give a little bit of an introduction about yourself and your business, and then maybe we could take the interview from there.
Sure. Hi, my name is Asli Sungur. I'm currently a fifth-year architecture student at Cal Poly Pomona, and I started my sustainable fine jewelry business at the beginning of this year, 2023, and I've been busy with it since then.
So tell us a little bit more about why did you start this business? Was there some sort of inspiration for that, or just give us like your origin story?
Sure. So I've always had a huge interest in jewelry in general, as long as I remember. And I always loved design and designing. That's one of the reasons I went to architecture school. And architecture school is a pretty extensive and intense design education. It gives you all the tools to make any sort of design. So when you're out of architecture school, you can basically work anything design related. It doesn't necessarily have to be particularly architecture. And before I graduate, I always wanted to do some sort of a business, design related business, but I was not sure what the product should be. And then I thought to myself, I have this passion, jewelry. And through this passion, I grew the knowledge. And through my personal experiences with other jewelers, I noticed that I could be good at this. I could be better than regular jewelers because because of my background in design and photography. I did photography before, and those kind of education and skills actually builds your eye to see things better, be more detail oriented. And jewelry is a pretty detail oriented design industry. So I was like, it's actually a perfect combination. I love jewelry. I grew the knowledge on it, and I wanted to start my business, design related business. So jewelry can be a perfect product for me to start this. And that's one of the main drive for me to start this business. And so with the CSU Fullerton Incubation Center, the how it started with that was actually before that I attended a startup competition called Sunstone Startup Lounge, and on there I was actually pitching for something totally different. And during that startup lounge, I won an award that was actually this program, CSUF Fullerton incubation program, which I think was a great award for me because at that time what I needed was resources and people of knowledge to help me. But when the time came to start this incubation program, my startup pivoted into this jewelry business. So that's what I wanted to do it with. And so they designated me a student of 7 people, which helped me do the marketing research or any kind of industry research. They did all sorts of interviews and all that, which I guess helped me start this business.
So what was one specific way that the incubator, the Center for Entrepreneurship, helped you? Was there a particular mentor maybe that gave you a good piece of advice that got the ball rolling for you?
Overall, I think main focus was on the interview and the market research, which I think was very helpful because I did not put any energy and effort on that because I thought okay, I was one of the customers, I knew the market, I knew the product, etc., but I did not do any research on it. So that was very helpful. And on the last day of the program, they gave me a presentation of their research, which is a pages long, very intense and extensive research. And after listening to it, I made a comment on in that room with the professors and all that students, I was like very alone in this whole process. I was all alone by myself trying to do everything, and I was looking for other people to do it together with. And I think my weakest point was on marketing. And I made a comment of saying like maybe I would look for a marketing like person to like do this business with. And after that, like after that program ended, one of the students reached out to me saying like, actually, I can help you with that. I want to work for you. I trust in you. I like your vision and all that. And like he actually wanted to work for me for because I did not have any income to like give him a salary or anything. Like he wanted to be a part of this business, which I think to me was very honoring, because like I didn't even started this business yet, but there's already a person who's believing in me, trusting in me, like trusting the vision, and sees that this business is going to go some places. So I like that. And that was the first person who I work with. So he basically, even after the incubation program, he like helped me do some sort of marketing related stuff. We ended up like he recently ended up like not working for me anymore, mainly because he was so busy. He had a full-time job to be able to support himself, because like obviously like I'm pretty new, and we're not like at this moment any income we generate goes back into business. So I'm not really able to hire someone at this moment. That's why like it was not really working out for him. So that was the end of it. But still, like we had a really good work together.
Yeah, even so, I mean, I've looked at your Instagram and some other places. I mean, the videos, the pictures that you have up there, they're really good, and I think that they really communicate the value that your jewelry, you know, has for your customers. So I think that if he had any input into that, or if it was all you, but whoever was behind that is doing a pretty good job. So that's all good. So you talked about a little bit about the obstacles that you're facing. I mean, a new business, you don't have any money. I mean, this is something that pretty much every entrepreneur faces, especially their first business, right? It's like you're just starting out. You don't know what you don't know, but you have a lot of passion, and that's good because it helps you overcome some obstacles. So what was like one or two of those huge obstacles that maybe you haven't covered yet that you've encountered, and you're figuring your way over it?
I think my biggest obstacle has been, and still is, being too alone. Like I'm literally doing everything on my own, like from website to social media to like legal stuff, everything. And I came to this, like this is my first ever business. Like I had to do all the research, like how to like legally start it and all that, like from A to Z on my own. And I didn't really have like all the guidance I had was always asking people. Like I had a huge help from my professors, school, this program, anyone who I talked. I literally like asked so many questions to so many people and did so many research, but still that's something I had to do. Like it was like me alone trying to do this. I think that was my biggest obstacle, and it still is. So that's at this point, at this stage of the business, I'm actually looking out for partners or hiring people, because it came to a point that I cannot be alone anymore. But overall, I would say that having the first experience and therefore being alone, but still, like if you have passion for it, if you really want to do it, just start from somewhere. That's what I heard from other people all around. Like just don't wait for it to be perfect and like have everything all done and then start. Just start from somewhere. Starting from somewhere and then building it on the way is the best way to go. And that's what I've been doing, and I think it's okay to do it that way.
Yeah, that is a very common story. So you're not alone, even though you are alone, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
One thing that I've seen that especially solo entrepreneurs do that has worked for them in the past, and I'm assuming still working for them now, is they'll find like mastermind groups or other groups of solo entrepreneurs, and they could talk with each other, share some secrets, share some tips. Have you found any? Have you found one of those groups? Are you looking for something like that?
I mean, I've found like there are actually tons of um platforms that help
Right.
you with your business, teach you and all that, but they always cost something.
Yeah.
So in my case, mine was going out and asking anyone. So for example, I met Philip through this incubation program, right? I asked Philip when I first started how to do this and all that, and he gave me all his knowledge. And then through him, he like gave me another person's number. I called and asked, like that was my like actually overall asking, sharing experiences process. Like whoever I talk to, I ask all the questions I have, which I think is very helpful. I sometimes didn't get a response from some people, but that's still okay. And I know that that's normal. Some people reach out to thousands of people and then just receive one return. And I heard that too. So I'm not stressing myself about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty common story too, right? I mean, you reach out to hundreds of people and then, two responses come back. But, hey, every once in a while, those two responses could be make or break. So that's huge. So looking forward, where do you see yourself in a few years? Do you see yourself with a team? Have you built this up? Have you moved on and you're doing architecture, or where are you in a few years?
Yes. So okay, let me talk to this in separate, like business versus architecture. I'll talk that
Sounds
separately.
good.
So
Sounds good. Perfect.
precious jewelry wise, have I seen like a couple of years, like in 3 years? Usually for this kind of business, the threshold is like 2 to 3 years. After 2 to 3 years, business actually like comes to a point where like that's your full-time job. So I'm definitely seeing this business like being more stable in 3 years. Eventually, I want to turn this into a general sort of more general scale design firm or design business, I'd say, because um so I just don't want to be stuck with only jewelry. I want to do other sorts of design related businesses as well, whether it's like a residential or like a furniture, because architects are known to be designing and collaborating with other brands for either if it's like automobile or like a jewelry or a furniture. So that's my passion and that's what I want to do in life, like doing design and turning that into a business. So I started with a very small scale part of it, which is a jewelry, and then I want to scale it up to hopefully other bigger scale businesses in the future. That's like not like a 3 year plan, but maybe a longer term plan. I'm not sure if it would be a one brand only or like different brands, but owned by like a same one brand. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just have to test it out. But that's how I want to combine that with my profession.
So it'd be like one of those European design houses like LVMH or something like that. It would just have a bunch of different brands going on, and that'd be really cool.
Yes.
So you would have fine jewelry, you would have architecture, maybe internal design. I forget what it's called, like with
Mhm.
sofas and stuff like that. So that tells you where my mind's at. It's not specifically in design. If you could tell from the shirt I'm wearing, I'm not exactly the most stylish guy around. So it's but okay, awesome. Let me see. What other is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to cover so far? Something that we missed, because I think that we've gotten pretty much everything. Was there some sort of internal inspiration for you to become an entrepreneur from the get-go, or is this something that you just happened into?
I mean, I think it's being an entrepreneur is just like comes within. I don't know. It's just
Just part of you.
it's just part of me, definitely, because I worked in a corporate job as well. Like there's definitely ups and downs to both. Like actually enjoyed working for a company. It's as long as you're doing the job you're doing, loving the job you're doing, it's fine. The good part of it is that once the job is done, you're free. And versus being an entrepreneur, like you're working 24/7. Like there's literally no time off. Like even when I'm walking, even when I'm doing other stuff, it's something always going on in my mind, and I have to do something, like then write it down, take a note, or call someone. It's literally a 24/7 job. And that's, I guess, to me is the downside of it. But that's what I enjoy. That's what I like. I like being creative. I like putting a product out there. I like being communicative with other people, customers. That's what I love to do. That's why I don't see myself working for a company forever. That's why I want to do my own thing and put something out there that I can be proud of. Which brings me into what I want to say more about my business. So um, from a personal ethical point, and also from the education I come from, I value sustainability and doing your work ethically. That's what sets Precious Jewelry apart from other fine jewelry brands, because I'm doing this business sustainably. So at this point of our lives, like almost every single brand claims their business is sustainable for their marketing purposes. So if when you dig into that, you'll see that it's just a marketing. It's not really a thing for most of it, not all of it. So since my values align with like being ethical and environmental, and since this fine jewelry industry historically is pretty destructive, both like human rights, ethical conditions, and also environmental conditions, I'm trying to do this on the opposite way, whether it's like using a recycled product, and as well as a lab grown diamonds that are built in a fossil fuel free way.
Right.
So that's one of the things that sets us apart, and that's what I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, so that's I'm very glad that you brought that up, because one of the questions I've always had in my mind was, I mean, what's the difference between a diamond that, you know, is dug up from the ground versus one that is created in the lab? In my mind, you know, and this is the guy's perspective, so maybe I'm a little skewed on this, but wouldn't you rather have a cheaper diamond that looks, you know, exactly like you wanted it to look, versus, you know, paying a lot more for something that's, you know, maybe it's natural, but I mean, it doesn't look like you want it to look. And hey, it also costs tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I always try to like highlight this because there's still a misleading, misunderstanding, and misconceptions about this. So highlighting that both lab-grown diamonds and mined diamonds are both physically, optically, and chemically are exactly identical, the same product. They're both
Right.
made out of carbon, totally carbon. There's definitely no difference at all. The only difference is one is made in lab and one is grew under earth in millions of years. And the biggest difference of these two are the price difference. Like there's like, it's not even double or triple the amount. Sometimes it's like more than 10 times the amount lab grown versus the mine diamond. So that's why actually there is a exponential interest in lab grown diamonds recently, and the market of lab grown diamonds are increasing literally exponentially. There's a huge demand on it. That's why the lab grown business is going great, and it's gonna get better and better every year. And one of the advantages of this business is that my product doesn't lose its value. For example, if I were to be selling clothing or like food or any kind of thing, like your inventory loses its value if you don't sell. But if I don't sell my product, it never loses its value. It's always a valuable product. That's one of the advantages of this industry, like when you're looking at from a business perspective.
So I think you said it maybe a little bit, but are you seeing that Gen Z and the newer, the younger generations, your generation, they're more embracing lab grown diamonds?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely, 100%. Because Gen Z goes to thrift shops. They don't really care where
right.
um, they don't want to pay too much on something that they might lose, or like they know that they're exactly identical and they're being more environmentally conscious. So that's why definitely 100%.
And as far as looks go, I mean, it looks exactly the same, right? For like the normal viewer. I'm sure that if you got a jeweler there with their the jeweler's eye, they could tell the difference, right? But
No,
oh, they
not
can't.
even a jeweler can tell the
All
difference.
right.
The only way to tell is the certificate. So the certificate says it's made in lab or it's mined from the earth. That's the only thing, because since they're not only optically, they're physically and chemically the same. They're made out of
Okay.
carbon. So in the labs, they're mimicking what is happening on under the earth, like literally the pressure and heat. That's it. They're doing the same, creating the same environment in the lab, and it's more fast, like millions of years versus a couple of weeks.
Gotcha. So, theoretically, if I wanted to create an exact replica of the Hope Diamond and switch them out, real quick, I should be able to do that and nobody would notice.
So a normal person wouldn't tell, but it like every single diamond has a license number on it. So if you look
Oh,
at it under like huge microscope, you see those numbers and you look it up online and it brings up the certificate.
okay. So then I would first need to find out what the number is on the Hope Diamond and then, okay. All right. Well, maybe there's still some more planning that needs to go on hypothetically. So do you have last question? I promise you've been great. This has been awesome. So the last question is what advice would you give somebody, right? So a student or somebody who's just starting out, they want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe it's in the jewelry business, maybe it's in the architecture business. What advice would you give to them? What do you wish you would have known beforehand?
I mean, I don't think I'm at a point to give advices,
Well, you
but
can try. I'm sure you
I
can.
can,
I believe in you.
okay, like I can just share my experience, because in any case, every single business journey is very unique. You cannot follow another business footstep and go to the same location. Literally, every single business is like every single other person. It's like a human, like it's very super unique. So I think what we can do is just like learn their experience, learn their journey, and apply it to us however we can. And that's what I've been doing, like learning other similar businesses experience and trying to apply it to myself, because there's no one path that I can follow straight. So saying that, like, I think um being persistent, not giving up, because it's not an easy journey. It's definitely difficult to start a business and keep it going. Um it's definitely not easy. So every single day you need to have a passion and a drive that drives you. So that's why you need to make sure you want to do this, you want to start this, and you're going to be consistent at it. And if it doesn't work, it's okay, because it's the first time. So many businesses fail. And the other day, literally a friend told me, like, running a business running a successful business is like making babies. Like everyone congratulates you for it, but they don't know how many times you tried to get it there. So it's like that, like you try, and then one day it works. So yeah, just be consistent and do the hard work, because it's definitely not easy.
Yeah, I've never heard it, that analogy before. Starting a business is like having a baby. Just keep on trying. Keep on trying. Eventually, it's going to work. Well, okay. With that image, I think we'll leave it there.
Okay.
And so, thank you very much, Asli. I'll put your information in the description. People can look down in the description and click on your website. Any other way that you would like people to get in touch with you?
There are multiple ways. Definitely, like if you want to shop, we have our website and the Etsy store. but mostly we're more active on Instagram, the social media. So definitely follow us on there. And if you want to contact us, like you can do it through Instagram or our email, which is contact@preciousjewelry.com. I'll be the person of contact when you do that. So please do.
Perfect. Perfect.
Also, thank you so much, Travis. It was very joyful. I enjoyed it, and thank you for like providing me your platform. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you very much for doing the interview. Really enjoyed it. Great interview. You know, wish you all the best. And if there's anything that, you know, I or the center can do for you in the future, just let us know.
Thank you so
So
much, Travis.
thank you very much.
Definitely been very helpful.